Are we live? There we go. You want to buy a Redbox kiosk? That's wild. I think it'd take up too much space. Alright, we're back again. We're starting off with Pokemon. Hopefully. And can I be honest? I did not plan to stream tonight. It's been a long day. Both like mentally because of work. But also, my social battery is drained. So I was just like, I'm not going to stream today. Whatever. You know, fucking whatever. And then I'm like, you know what? Let's just quicken out. 1 hour stream. We'll call it a day. You know? Just keep it simple. 1 hour stream. Yes, I saw your red box. And I think that buying a red box is a bad idea. Takes up too much space. Alright. Oh. Let's do a bonus pick first. I already opened my pack for, like, the day, so that's out of the picture, but yeah. Oh. I still think their red boxes are pretty big. I mean, it's a freaking red box. Alright, we didn't get a Nebby. Let's just see if we can get one of these. Alright, I already have a Nebby. I need a Lycanroc. Alright, there we go. There's a Lycanroc. Maybe I could take out the inside, leaving the empty shell, and basically put a shelf inside. That'd probably be a little better. Yeah, making it into like a cabinet. Yeah. Alright, I'll take the Nebby. What a promo code. Whatever. Alright. So last week we opened up a pack of Pokemon. We opened up a bunch of Lunala cards. This week we're opening up a bunch of Solgaleo. We're gonna open up a bunch of Pope cards. I'll be honest, after we did last week's thing where we opened up a bunch of cards, the hit of dopamine I got from opening 10 packs of cards was so great that I was like, fuck, I want to do that again instantly. This is the last time we're doing it for this set. We did it once for the Lunala packs, we'll do it once for the Solgaleo packs, and then I'll kind of wait until the next set comes back. Put up Rose Crypts in the ad that I'll be jealous. Yeah. That'd be cool. But yeah, I don't wanna make this like a weekly thing. Because I could totally see getting addicted to this. I totally get why people open up Pokemon packs on stream. I still think all the people who are buying up all the card packs in real life and taking them away from kids, that's an apple, that you're an asshole. Yeah, I'll never buy the actual cards. I'll never. I think I'm the opposite. I'm way too old for the actual cards. But fuck, man, I'm addicted. What can I say? A dopamine hit's a dopamine hit. They're both expensive. Dealing with all the scalpers, I just don't want any part of it. I had Pokemon cards like 20 years ago when I was a kid. I don't need to do that again. But getting a free hit a day, I'll take that. That's not bad. But it can get very addicting very easily. Plus, you know, I'd rather spend money on video games that I will actively play or not play than Pokemon cards. Even though there are some cool Pokemon cards. Oh, fuck, we got the full art. Or, is it illustration? Whatever the animated one is. It's so cool. I pulled the Guzma one between streams. Between this week and last week, I pulled the Guzma one. So I now have both the illustrations. This is such a cool card. Well, it does kind of suck that we didn't get Solgaleo and Lunala cards. I genuinely think that between the Lily and the Guzma card, we got some really good cards. Jupiter. No, okay, just the normal Oricorio. I've seen the full art of the Oricorio. Blackjack on my hot for simple. Yeah. Yeah, man, games are addicting. Especially when they're specifically designed that way. Garbodor, Goose. Trubbish. Got the Lana. Okay. Cosmog. I need Cosmium, and I have not gotten Solgaleo or Lunala yet. I have gotten this one before. Magernia. Wasdale. Oh, it's a little cutie fly. It's a little Pookie. Actually, that's the shiny one. Okay, Mallow's good. We're getting most of the support cards. Great art for Dugtrio. Man, I love the clay arts and the plushes. Those are such great cards. Brawler, Spoink, Sableye, and Incineroar. Nice. That's good. That's a good get. Jupiter, Solrock, Raichu. Okay, I did need that. Bruxish, Excavalier, Shuppet, Torracat, Heliolisk, Cootiefly, Sandslash. And there we go, all 10 packs. Man, we just burned through that. We only, like last week we got like 2 shiny cards. This week, really, we got a few ones, but really all we got was Lily. Lily was like the one big card we got. And that Incineroar is good, I guess. And the Raichu. Let's see, how close are we? See, there's the Guzma. Okay, we're at 90. So we could be doing a little better, but we also could be doing worse. Yeah, that's the last pack of 10 I'm opening up for a while. I'm gonna save it until the next. I think that's gonna become the stream constant. Is that we're just gonna open up a new set of 10 every time the new set comes out. Kind of like how we used to do marbles back in the day. Even though, oh my gosh, speaking of marbles, they're doing a thing where you can sponsor a marble team. So like as a Team Galactic fan, I could pay $250 and be the official sponsor of Team Galactic, which is crazy to think about. Not that I was going to do it, obviously, but yeah, no, you could be, because I'm pretty sure they're getting ready to film or currently are filming the next season of the Marble League, the summer 2025 games. And so they're doing it. I think they're getting ready to film. But yeah, you could be the official marble to a team. And oh, that's a great idea in my opinion. And I know some of them have already sold. Like if I had to guess, at least half the teams have been bought up. Yeah, there we go. There's some Pokemon card packs. Alright, let me kill the lights. Close the thing. Kill the stream. Not kill the stream. Let's move this over here. And hit that button. There we go. We're back in Mario Kart.
Luigi Kart A.
So, getting on to the actual stream for tonight, I'm gonna be honest, my goal... Oh, shit. Where is... Oh, shit. I'm looking... Oh, there it is. There it is. Okay. So, the goal tonight... hopefully we'll be done in like an hour. My goal is a short show. We do not have that many news stories. If I'm being honest, we got like one kind of big one, which is a continuation of last week's one. We got Nintendo financial reports, which, I'm happy to talk about because, we're getting ready for a Switch 2 in like a month. So how's the Switch ending off? I always just do regionals. Even though I do not play much of this game.
Let's go.
Oh, no, I don't want the Scooty Puff Jr. Alright, I'm fine with Scooty Puff Jr. I just don't want... where's my paper airplane letter? There we go. So tonight, we got that. We got GTA, and we got, Nintendo Financial Report. And then for WIBE, I've got 2 food things. We got to talk about Game Changers. And then I did see the Thunderbolts a second time. I knew last week that I was going to see it a second time anyways. Like, I don't think I said I was going to, but I actually knew I was going to. I was going to take my parents to see it. So that did happen. So we'll talk about both those things. But yeah. So I guess let's just get right into it. So for the news, our big story is GTA. Last week it was announced that GTA is is getting a delay. So this week we got a trailer. Much to everyone's surprise, like I feel like most people didn't see that coming. But yeah, GTA got a trailer. We actually got a good chunk of information. I'm mostly just going to go through the character bios because that's kind of what I want to talk about. But we got that. And then we have Nintendo financial stuff. Oh wow, Nintendo did a quarterly financial report. Big fucking surprise there. And then we're playing Mario Kart because I can't think of anything else to play. If I'm just being honest here, I didn't really have any other ideas. Oh fuck, I have smart steering on. Okay, whatever. But yeah, so that's all we're gonna talk about. Again, hopefully we go for like an hour at most. I do not plan for it to be a long show tonight. Just being honest. So our new GTA 5 trailer, or 6 trailer. I've been saying GTA 5 for like a decade now. Man, getting away from that's gonna be such a pain. We're obviously going to have to eventually, but shit, I thought I was over far enough. Yeah, we got another thing. So the new GTA 6 trailer, this trailer, man, it's so fucking hot. And when I mean hot, I don't mean like it's like Florida hot, like just because we're in Florida, I don't mean like Florida hot. I mean like sexy hot. Like these are Jason and Lucia are 2 of the hottest characters in all of video games. Like holy shit, just like watching them go, to the club, cuddle with each other. It seems like the smallest things. But man, the way Rockstar sells itself and sells its characters, like holy shit. This is the hottest trailer in video games. And like, yeah, I get it. It's Coco Bananas. And then I saw someone point out, like, at the end of this game, you're gonna have to kill one of them. And the player, because if you ever play GTA 5, you get a choice between which one you want to kill. And so, like, obviously, you're gonna be given a choice to kill one of them. And what's worse? You kill the guy, so now you're playing as a girl, and that's gay. Or you kill the girl, and now you're playing as a guy, and that's gay. So it's a for those chuds. It's a lose-lose scenario, which I thought was very funny. Like, that's a very funny way to put that. But yeah, so what about our actual characters? So we have Jason Duval. Jason, right? He wants an easy life. You know, he's not looking for things to be worse. GTA in Texas. I'd like a GTA in Texas, yeah. You'll be 18. Oh my gosh. Don't make me feel old. I already feel old this week. Don't make me feel any older. But yeah, so Jason's, you know, he just wants an easy life. But, you know, life just keeps getting harder all around him. Things are more difficult. He's been in and out of jail. Oh my god, stop it. Don't make me feel so old. Ah, you're breaking my heart. You're making me feel like an old man who's gonna crumble to dust. They keep I mean, it might be delayed more. You never know. Let's see. Lucia. What's my... I'm reading off their biographies off the website. Lucia's father taught her to fight as soon as she could walk. I know some people are like, oh, is she just going to be a serious, no-nonsense action girl? And I don't think that's what they're going to do. Like, honestly, they're going for, like, a Bonnie and Clyde thing. I guess May 26th, which is the game's release date, is either the day Bonnie and Clyde died, or it was the day of their funeral. Like, it has some sort of connection. That's very clearly what they're going for. And I think that's a good idea. That's not a bad idea of, like, something to go for. Which definitely makes people think, like, oh, they're gonna die. That's the obvious connection there. But yeah, no, I think they both look great. Again, the game's just hot, man. It's steamy. 2012 is 13 years. Gosh. Yeah. Wild. Absolutely wild. Let's see, who else? We have Cal Hampton. He's your conspiracy theorist, your chud, your Florida dude bro. You know, if you played GTA 5, there's Lester, who's like your internet hacker guy. This Cal seems to be our internet hacker. Someone did bring up, you know how like GTA 5 kind of has like their social media, it's not called like info dump. I can't remember what their Facebook clone is. Not Face Invader. Not Phone Destroyer. Phone Destroyer is a South Park thing. I don't remember whatever they call their Facebook ripoff. Someone said like, oh, I think it was Blessing over at Kinda Funny was like, do you think this GTA 6 is gonna have a TikTok parody? Like it's gonna be like Click Clog or Star Talk or something like that. Like, do you think GTA 6 is gonna have some sort of parody of TikTok? And maybe players will be able to create their own TikTok videos that get uploaded into the game. And, you know, maybe like some website or something. And honestly, I don't think that's a bad idea by any means. Having like a TikTok parody in the game, I think that would make sense. God, 2007, one of the best years in gaming, was 18 years ago. Let's see, who else? There's a guy named Booby Ike in GTA 6. It's the biography just reads, it's all about heart. The heart of the Jack of Hearts. So he's a gambler. You know, obviously there's going to be gambling. I mean, it's a Grand Theft Auto game. Of course there's going to be. I want to say he works for Raw Records. So one of the big things in this game is seemingly there's going to be like a record studio that you're either working for or working with called Raw Records. And it's run by, let's see, what's this guy's name? Draquan Priest. And he seems to be the founder of Raw Records. He, you know, is a big name in it. So he's going to be important. This year is going to be a very good year for gaming. Even better if the companies. Yeah, true. True enough about companies. Everything's just getting more expensive. I blame the president. But yeah, so this record studio seems to have a big play. Booby works for the record studio. Draquan works for the record studio. And so does Real Dimes. So Real Dimes is a group, 2 girls, Deluxe and Roxy. I blame the president. And so they're viral videos, viral hooks, and again, some great black hairstyles. That's another thing that people have been pointing out, because, you know, video games struggle with stuff like that. They always have, sadly. But no, this one's getting it right. I trust Rockstar to get it right. And so far, everything we've seen looks pretty spot on. But yeah, all 3 of those people all work for Raw Records, so presumably you're going to be able to work for Raw Records. Maybe, because GTA Vice City was one of the games where you could own property. Like, you could buy, like, car dealerships. You could buy, I think you buy, like, an ice cream factory or something like that. I think you buy a dance studio. So it is totally possible that in this game, you're going to be able to also buy property, and maybe Raw Records is a part of that. I don't know, it just seems to be playing a more major role. Let's see, who else is there? There's Raul Bautista, who is an experienced smuggler? Yeah, he seems to be, he's a smuggler of some sort. He does drugs. Oh no, wait, maybe I'm getting this guy confused. This is the bank heist guy. There's a bank heist guy and there's a drug guy. I think Raul is the bank heist guy. So obviously, you know, people really like the heists in Grand Theft Auto 5. I mean, I have very fond memories of the heists in the game, but then also the heists online. Like there's the Doomsday heist, obviously, but then there's also, you know, all the other heists that you can do. I can't remember any of their names off the top of my head. But, you know, GTA 5 had a lot of heists, both online and in the single player, that were a lot of fun, that people really like. So presumably there's going to be even more heists in this game, which I think is a great idea. I think that's a great thing to do, because people do really like their heists. So, you know, just give us more. And then there's Brian Heder. This is your drug smuggler. He's a, you know, drug smuggler, flew in drugs, and obviously you're going to be able to help him out with his drugs, and, you know, you're his apprentice. I want to say Brian is the guy voiced by, not Dale from, is it Dale from King of the Hill? I think it's Dale from King of the Hill. I don't know, listen, watch the trailer, and I was like, one of these voice actors sounded so familiar, but I couldn't quite place it. And then someone was like, oh, it's Dale. Or it's one of the guys from King of the Hill. It's not Boomhauer. It's not Hank, definitely. I want to say, is it Dale? I think that sounds, I don't know, I'd have to Google it. Dale from King of the Hill. It might not be Dale. No, it's not Dale. It's not. Who the fuck is it then? It's not Boomhauer. It's Bill. It's Bill from King of the Hill. I was like, I know it's one of the main 4 guys. And yeah, no, it's great there. Everything we see in this trailer all looks really good. I'm really invested in it. Rockstar knows how to make a good trailer. I'm very excited for this game. Of course, the game's, you know, May 26, 2026. That's a full year away. A little more than that, even. So it's going to be a while. But boy, am I here for it. The last thing I got to say on the trailer is, so at the end of the trailer, it says rendered on PS5. So they used PS5 for the trailer. But I guess, allegedly, this is base PS5. So this was not rendered on a PS5 Pro, but just the base PS5. Which, I mean, game trailers always look better than the final product. I've been around since the Watch Dogs days. Yes, game trailers have always looked better. That's nothing new. But still, if this is base PS5 like they're saying, that is very impressive. Because, I mean, and I bring that up primarily because I'm probably going to be playing on PS5. Because that's unless I'm playing a Nintendo game, which this thing ain't coming out on Switch, duh. I mean, it might, but not anytime soon. It'll come out on Switch after it comes out on PC. And the PC port's not coming out until like 27. But if this is, you know, their big thing, then yeah, I'm going to play PS5. Because usually one of the companies always lines up a deal, be that Xbox or PlayStation. PlayStation got the deal for GTA 6 this time. Again, it's going to take me a long time to get used to that. It really is. But yeah, GTA, man, it kind of sucks that we gotta wait a full year now. Like, there's a part of me that's like, oh, if you're gonna delay the game, don't even give us a trailer. I don't even need a trailer. Because it's so far away. But, I mean, what you gonna do? Alright, our next story is Nintendo. They had their financial report. You know, it's that time of year. So what is it? What's Nintendo's sales looking like? Well, the Switch has now sold 152 million units. That's what? 3 million away from the Nintendo DS. No, maybe it's 2 million. I want to say the DS is 154. Might be 155. Either way, that's right at the DL's heels. Now, I would say it's also at the PS5's heel, or the PS2. But every time the Nintendo gets close to catching up with the PS2 sales, PlayStation all of a sudden finds another million units that the PlayStation sold, because they really want to keep PlayStation 2 as the #1 best-selling console. And I want to say it's now up to like 160 million. Like, legitimately, in the past, like, 2 years, PlayStation has pulled another 5 million PS2 sales just out of their ass. So, who knows? Who knows if that's actually going to happen? I would say things will start to get better once the Switch maybe potentially goes on sale. I mean, admittedly, I don't know if the Switch is going to go on sale because of all these tariffs and everything. But who knows? But like, I could see the Switch selling, at least in the next year, I could see it selling another 3 million units. I mean, to be fair, I think in the since, you know, the past quarter, basically since this time last year, I want to say the Switch only sold like 1.8 million. So not that many as it could have, obviously. But, you know, we're 8 years into this console's lifespan. Nintendo's going to keep publishing games for at least another year. And if this is how they're going to do things, well, this is how they're going to do things. You know, is it my preferred way? No, but that's what they're going to do because they be Nintendo. And like, you would say, like, oh, the Switch is going to go on sale. People are going to start buying it. But they're not. The Switch isn't going to go on sale. You know, the Switch 2 is $450. I wanted to take $1,000 on there. They're obviously like, oh, well, you can't. They're pulling an Xbox. Oh, you can't afford the Switch 2? Don't worry, you can just buy a normal Switch. You know, we already sell a product for people who can't afford the Switch 2. It's just called the Switch. No, seriously, that's what Nintendo... That's been their official statement up until this point. Got a golden third. Holy shit. So what about games? How are the games doing? Well, Nintendo made a big push on Donkey Kong. Donkey Kong has been their big game this year. They got the fucking Costco guys and the Rizzler to talk about Donkey Kong, for Christ's sake. So obviously Nintendo's made a big push in Donkey Kong. And that has amounted to $1.27 million in sales. Admittedly, I have no idea how that fits Nintendo's expectations. Is that below expectations? There's no way that's above expectations. There's a part of me, 1.27. Admittedly, I don't know exactly when that date cuts off, but I feel like that should be higher than it actually is. Gosh dang it. Oh my gosh, we lost like 3 places at the last second there. So that's not good. I mean, it could be worse. Mario Party, meanwhile, Mario Party Jamboree, has sold 7.48 million. What, since October? This makes Mario Kart 8, or Mario Party Jamboree. Ugh. This makes Mario Party Jamboree the fastest selling Mario Party of all time. Which, that's huge. I mean, I want to say Super Mario Party, the first one on Switch, is like the 15th best-selling Switch game of all time, with like 16 million units or something crazy like that. So if Mario Party Jamboree keeps selling, if the Switch 2 version sells more, I mean, the Switch 2 version's not going to sell more because it's 80 fucking bucks. Because it's a $20 upgrade, unlike some of the other games that's only 10. But it has potential to be one of the best-selling Mario Parties. Admittedly, I do not know what the best-selling Mario Party is. I don't think it's Super Mario Party, but it totally could be. Mario Kart 8, the game we're playing right now, has sold 68.2 million units. Right under the nice number. It will probably hit the nice number, though. Before the Switch dies, it will probably hit that nice number. Which, you know, that'd be nice. But I mean, I like this game. I like this game a lot. I think the DLC is very good. I have thoroughly enjoyed it. But yeah, it's kind of the point where almost 1 in every 2 Switch owners own Mario Kart. It's technically closer to like 1 in every 3, but that's still very impressive, all things considered. Echoes of Wisdom has sold 4.09 million. That does now mean it has outsold Link Between Worlds and one of the other 2D, Oracle of Ages and Seasons. It's outsold all of those games, so, you know, that does not make it the best-selling 2D Zelda game of all time. I still think that's held by Link's Awakening, but Echoes of Wisdom is doing good. You know, it's not a total flop. Mario and Luigi Brothership sold 1.97 million, so just under 2 million. It might potentially, you know, make that gap here in a little bit. But I think those are good numbers. I do. Speaking of other Mario RPGs, Thousand Year Door, which is the one that I really want to do well, because, you know, it's fucking Thousand Year Door. Thousand Year Door has sold 2 million units, which I would not consider a failure. I don't know, admittedly, how well that is compared to, like, Paper Mario The Origami King, but 8 years into the console's life, the game having come out 7 years into the console's life, I would say, you know, selling 2 million units, that's still pretty decent all around. At least I'd like to hope it is. Yeah, I would hope 2 million is decent. Super Mario Bros. Wonder, 16 million units. Okay, you know, it's a 2D Mario game. 2D Mario games sell like hotcakes. What else is new? Pokemon Scarlet and Violet, 26.79 million units. That officially makes it the second best-selling Pokemon game of all time, right behind Red and Blue. Which does mean that Pokemon Scarlet and Violet has now sold more than Sword and Shield. Which Sword and Shield, I want to say Sword and Shield's at like 25 million or something like that. Sword and Shield already sold amazingly well. So Scarlet and Violet did even better. Of course, I've seen some people, like, you know, Doom posting that, oh, this just shows the Pokemon Company that they never have to make a good game ever again. And I mean, fair point, kind of. I know the Pokemon Company doesn't care. And I know I'm part of the problem. But man, I've put like 300 hours into Scarlet and Violet. And boy, have I had so much fun with that game. I know it's ugly, but man, have I enjoyed it. Same thing with Sword and Shield. I put like 260 hours into Sword and Shield. Just Shield, actually. Sword, I've done a playthrough of Sword that we did on stream. And I did a playthrough of Shield as well. And I did a Nuzlocke of Shield. So I've played Sword and Shield multiple times. But just on my main profile, 260 hours. So yes, I do really like Pokemon. And yeah, those numbers don't surprise me. Tears of the Kingdom sold 21.73 million units. That's not as many as Breath of the Wild. Breath of the Wild is still, I think, the third best-selling game on Switch. Maybe fourth? Mario Kart, Animal Crossing, Smash Bros, and then Breath of the Wild? I know Breath of the Wild is better than Mario Odyssey. And I think Mario Odyssey is like fifth. I don't know, 21 million units is still good. Someone did point out, though, that because of these numbers, out of every 3D Zelda game ever made, 57% of all 3D Zelda games are on Switch alone. So if you took everyone who bought, like, Ocarina of Time, everyone who bought Majora's Mask, everyone who bought Twilight Princess, everyone who bought Breath of the Wild, Tears of the Kingdom, Wind Waker, you know, etc., and got all their copies together, 57% of all those copies would be Switch games alone. And they didn't even re-release Twilight Princess or Wind Waker on Switch. Now, of course, that doesn't include 2D Zelda games. I know if you took all Zelda games total, that number is definitely a little lower. But it's also, you know, it's also not too bad, because Link's Awakening is the best-selling one. And that's on Switch. As is 4 million from Echoes of Wisdom. That's not terrible. And then finally, final stat. Out of all the first-party Nintendo games, 73 of them have sold over 1 million units. That's just first-party games. That's crazy numbers. The idea that 73 games, just by first-party studios, have sold over 1 million units, that makes you wonder how many non-Nintendo games sold over 1 million. Like, I know there are some people who bought the Switch and just bought Mario Kart, or just bought Smash Bros, and that's the only Switch game they'll ever play. But still, I think those are wild numbers. But yeah, you know, Nintendo financials, I'm sure they're not doing as good as they could be, but Nintendo's still doing fine. Sure, are things potentially going to be worse in the future? Did their stock price probably drop when they revealed all this information? Yes to both, but Nintendo stock price always drops whenever they do anything. That, again, the stock market is just gambling with extra steps. At least that's how people treat it. There was another Nintendo story that was going around about how, like, on the Switch 2 and their new, like, terms of service or their new privacy agreement or something, if you're using, like, hacked copies of a game and playing online, Nintendo has the right to, like, brick your system. Which, yeah, that fucking sucks, but I'm pretty sure Xbox does that as well. I'm assuming PlayStation does. I just know for a fact Xbox does. Because I remember people getting really mad at Xbox when they were like, oh, if you say the N-word in a Call of Duty lobby, Xbox will, you know, ban your console. Which, yeah, like, I kind of get it. But and I guess Nintendo has also said that they're going to be recording all game chats. Presumably, you know, they're just going to be storing them on a server somewhere. And, you know, maybe like Xbox or Activision, they'll have an AI go through them to see what's going on. Because, of course, that's how Xbox and Activision does things. Oh, shit. I can get a mushroom cake this real quick. I know I have smart steering on. I'm too lazy to turn it off. But yeah, that was the big... That was like another thing, you know. People are big mad at Nintendo. Oh, wow. Surprise, surprise. Nothing's changed. You know, people big mad at Nintendo, even though they're all just gonna buy the game and the console anyways. Oh shit. Is the Pope from Chicago? Is the sky blue? That's my new... That's... I don't remember who I saw... I can't remember if that was on a Twitter or a TikTok or Internet Today. But someone was like, the new saying is just, is the Pope from Chicago? If anybody asks like a super obvious question, you just say, is the Pope from Chicago? Because he is, kind of. And that's the best kind of. The technically correct kind. Man, bullets are OP in this game. I guess they nerfed bullets in the next game. That they're not going to be nearly as good as they are in this one. Alright, let's get to WIBE. So we got two food things. We got KFC. I went to KFC. They probably gave me food poisoning. We'll talk about it. And then I got some Pringles. In recent years, Pringles have not had the best track record. We'll talk about these ones. And then we got to talk about Game Changer, because, you know, we got a new Game Changer this week, and that's something I do want to talk about weekly, even if we haven't been. And finally, we're going to talk about the new Avengers, aka the Thunderbolts asterisk. So let's start with chicken and waffles. Yeah, did KFC give me food poisoning? Maybe, kind of. Did KFC give me food poisoning? Maybe, kind of. So, I went to KFC because they had chicken and waffles. That's like their big promotion this month. And I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Sure, let's try these KFC chicken and waffles. I think it was 4 pieces of chicken, 2 waffles. And I'm like, okay, this doesn't sound, that doesn't sound too bad. Can I be honest? I'm kind of, knowing KFC the way I do, I'm kind of surprised they aren't doing a chicken and waffle sandwich. That very much feels like a KFC thing. Supposedly they're bringing back the Double Down this year, which is the 2 pieces of chicken. Either they're bringing back that or they're bringing back the donut one. I know they're doing one of those. But okay, KFC chicken and waffles. I was like, you know what? Fuck it. Let's give it a try. First off, they gave me like 6 tubs of syrup. The chicken and waffles come with these like little syrup cups. You know, it's like the sauce packets but for syrup. And they gave me 6 of them for 2 waffles and 4 pieces of chicken. I was like, what the fuck? But I tried the chicken. The chicken is KFC. If you ever had KFC, there's a 1 in like 8 chance it's gonna be good. The other 7, it's probably gonna be dry. Spoiler alert, this was dry. I had the tenders, admittedly. I did not have the, the bone-in, whatever the fuck they call it. I had the tenders, and yeah, they were just dry. They were not that good. I was not impressed by the chicken at all. The waffle, on the other hand, Actually, not bad. It definitely, while it didn't balance out the dryness of the chicken, it did definitely add some much needed flavor that, you know, the dry chicken just couldn't compete with. So I'll give them that. The waffle was definitely a nice addition. I would have rather had it there. It was a sweet waffle. Admittedly, yes, I got the syrup on it. The syrup is Mrs. Buttersworth? It's not like KFC, you know, like Wendy's has like Wendy's brand syrup. No, this is, I want to say Mrs. Buttersworth. It might be Aunt Jemima, but I'm pretty sure it's Mrs. Buttersworth. And yeah, I'll be honest, I thought the syrup was fine. I think the chicken, or the waffles were fine. They were kind of sweet, and I kind of like that. You know, I like a sweeter waffle. The best waffle I ever had was so just packed with, like, brown sugar. And it was so fucking good. Man, I've never had a waffle that good again in my life. Admittedly, that was only, like, a year ago. But man, that waffle was fucking good. So, what about... So, I mentioned food poisoning. The next day... Later that night, I like, go to the bathroom. You know, I need to pee because I drink fucking a gallon of water a day. And I kind of like... Oh, I kind of cough. I throw up a little. It wasn't much. It was just like a little throw up. I was like, whatever. You know, like, something wasn't fitting right. But then again, I did just drink an entire gallon of water. So maybe that was it. But... I was like, okay, whatever. I just need to go to bed. I'm tired. I go to bed. I wake up the next morning getting ready for work. And just... It all just comes out. I'm not going to be any more specific than that. But just know, it all came out. And I was just... I was fucking eating antacid tablets. Like they were fucking Pez. And yeah, my stomach just really fucking hurt. And the only reason I think, oh, it had to have been the KFC. Admittedly, it might not have been the KFC. That might have just been complete coincidence. But that's like my best guess as to what it was. Because yeah, I was not feeling well. And now, admittedly, if it was food poisoning, it only lasted like a day. Like by Tuesday, I was back in, you know, tip-top shape. But yeah, on Monday, I was just like, oh gosh, ugh. I felt so bad, and I was like I was just like, oh, stuff a bunch of antacid tablets, go to sleep, you know, I'll at least while I'm asleep, I'm not gonna, you know, I didn't feel like throwing up, because I know that's like an issue, you know, that's like a thing, like, hey, you know, when people drink a bunch of alcohol, in case they're gonna throw up, you don't lay them on their side. Or you lay them on their side, not their stomach. That was not what I was worried about. Yeah, it was a day. It was a day. So no, I guess I don't recommend the chicken. The waffle was fine. They're not like the biggest waffles. Admittedly, I like that they were thicker. Like they're not like an Eggo thin. You know, they've got a little bit of thickness to them. But they're kind of small. Like, it's not like if you go to like another, like a Slim Chickens, where I think they give you like a whole fucking waffle. This isn't like that. But no, I did not think it was bad at all. I enjoyed it well enough. I enjoyed the waffle well enough. The chicken... not so much. I could not recommend the chicken. Am I going to go back? No, I have no plans to go back anytime soon. But yes, I have also had worse waffles at other places. Next up, let's talk about Pringles. So Pringles, I was at the store, and I saw they had two flavors. They had a chicken and beer flavor, which is like, you know, when you take a chicken and you stuff it with a beer can and then cook it. It's something people do. So chicken and beer is something I'd heard of. They also had bratwursts in beer. You know, going for that German style. And now, I'll be honest, I was very tempted not to buy these. Because if I'm just being honest, Pringles this past year have not had a good track record. Just being completely honest, every time I've had Pringles recently, anytime I try one of their, like, weird new flavors, like, oh, this one's, you know, God, I don't even know if it was chicken curry. I know one of them was everything bagel. I had, like, everything bagel. I had chili and cheese, or, like, chili Frito pie, or chili fries. It was something chili related. And I know everything bagel is one of them. Every time I've had those Pringle flavors, I have been so fucking disappointed. Pringles, I like a good Pringle. I'll be honest, like a good cheddar Pringle or a good barbecue Pringle, oh my gosh, can be really good. But Pringles doesn't have the best track record, and I've kind of, specifically recently, like they haven't always been terrible, but specifically recently, I've kind of given up on them. But I was like, you know what, fuck it, let's try it. So I did, and they were okay. I'll be honest, those two, again, the chili flavor and the everything bagel, I both thought were worse. I don't really know what I'd compare. The chicken and beer, I don't know what I'd compare that one to. I guess it's, I don't really taste the beer. It's more chicken, but I don't think it's the worst. Like, I feel like I've had other chicken flavor Pringles. Or maybe that was turkey. And it was not good. That was not a good flavor. This one was okay. And you know, maybe that was the beer helping it out. I did not think the chicken and beer was that bad. The bratwurst one, the bratwurst and beer, I liked a little less. It definitely, like, you could have just called this hot dog flavor, and I think you probably would have gotten away with it. I know this is like a thing with like Budweiser, like that's the other advertiser in this group. That's why it's brat and beer and chicken and beer and whatnot. Yeah, I think it's Budweiser or Bud Light or one of those. I don't really know. But yeah, overall, I was not good. It was whatever. Can I be honest? The bratwurst one kind of had like a ketchup flavor to it. I don't know. At least that's what I got out of it. And that's not really something I want from, you know, bratwurst. Like, that's why I kind of say it could be hot dog. Because I don't know. I feel like I tasted ketchup. Or something akin to, and I know, oh right, oh, the new Pope says that ketchup doesn't go on hot dogs. And like, I get that, and it's now a sin. But yeah, I just got like a ketchup flavor from it. And that was not what I wanted from this. So overall, I was not impressed with the beer one. The chicken one was okay. Like, if I was forced to, like, eat a can of one of these, I would pick the chicken one any day of the week. But, I mean, I've had so much worse. Those chili cheese fries, or whatever the fuck it was, that flavor was unbearable. I would never recommend that to anybody. Oh my gosh, that's a torture device. It's like, okay, have you ever been to, back in the day, did you ever do Lilo and Stitch, the extraterrestrial encounter, where Stitch does the chili dog burp? And you know how just fucking awful that is? It's like that. That's the chili cheese fried Pringle. It's like that in chip form. It's fucking awful. All right, let's get to something good. Let's talk about Game Changer. So I saw Game Changer. Their newest episode is called Earnest-est. So, you know, on the scale from bits to no bits, they have the bitometer. The bitometer breaks and it lands on no bits. So they have to do an episode without bits. Which, I don't even... How do I explain a bit to somebody who doesn't know about comedy? How do I explain a bit to myself? I don't know. I would say in like the simple... I think about bits is like a reoccurring gag. Like that's, I think, like the most simple form is just a reoccurring joke. Or like, you know, something that like, you know, it's a little crazy, it's a little off the wall. I'm sure that's not a real technical definition. I mean, it's already bad enough trying to explain comedy. But the episode takes the idea of like, oh, they're not allowed, they have to do everything earnestly. They can't like take something and make a joke out of it. They have to do it entirely earnest. And you know, the episode starts off simply enough. You know, they just have a few basic challenges. You know, they have like, they do like a compliment duel. You know, they're just keeping things earnest. And then the episode fucking escalates. So full spoiler alert for Game Changer. Go watch it. But basically, they have to audition for a role. And that role turns out to be the Joker. So they all get dressed up like Heath Ledger's Joker. Which it's Ally Beardsley, Zach Oyama, and Olivia something? I can't remember her last name. But it's the three of them, so they're all dressed up as the Joker. They do the whole Joker thing. They then have to do some affirmations in the mirror. And then the episode ends with a dance routine. Because, yeah, they paid money to... They paid $1,500 to license Seal's Kiss from a Rose. Kiss from a Rose. And so they paid money to license that song. So they use it, like, 4 times in the episode. Because, like, oh, if you're already going to pay for it once, you might as well use it, you know, as many times as you can. Because using it once... Or using it 4 times costs the same as using it once. Which, I mean, fair enough. And great, can I be honest? I love Kiss from a Rose. I know I'm getting the title wrong, the name wrong, Kiss by a Rose, Kiss from a Rose. I know I'm getting the title wrong, but I fucking love that song. I know everyone associates it with Batman, and like rightfully so. But man, do I fucking love that. God damn it. I was right there, and then that red shell just ruined everything. I would have gotten second. So I got 6th. So the Kiss, using that, so I love that song, doing the Joker, doing the whole dance routine. Man, it's so fucking... Seeing the picture on Reddit of them all just in their Joker makeup holding up the roses is fucking art, man. It's crazy. It is that's a crazy ending for an episode. Admittedly, I saw the episode twice. The first time I saw it, I didn't actually think it was that funny. Like, I'll be honest, it didn't really get that many laughs out of me. Because, again, it's no bits. It's entirely earnest. And while the ending is wild, right, it's more of, like, shock humor. That it's kind of like the fact that they're going there. Okay, shock humor is the wrong word. But, you know, it's crazy that they're doing this. The second time, I definitely got a lot more jokes out of it. I definitely laughed a lot more. You know, that now that I kind of knew what was going into it, which, hey, guess what? You're going to hear me say that again in like 2 minutes. But now that I knew what the episode was about, yeah, I liked it more. Overall, yeah, no, pretty... I would say it's the weakest episode this season, but we're only like 3 episodes in, and still, ending with them all... They're escalating things. And yeah, definitely ending with the Joker is a wild ending. Just based on the title alone, that never in a million years would I have guessed that's how this episode ends. Because that is a wild ending. It's a good ending, but it is wild. Yeah. Game changer, man. You gotta... I don't have it on here, but the Try Guys brought back for a 3rd season, Phoning It In, which is their cooking show where they have a professional chef on a telephone giving instructions to an idiot on the other side of the line. And they premiered the first episode, It's Mitzi and Johnny Cake versus Johnny Cakes as the two chefs. And then it's Zach in... Is it Miles? Who's the chef? Who's the other chef? I know Zach is one of them. And honestly, I think Phoning It In is potentially the Try Guys' best show. Like, I like Escape the Kitchen. I think Escape the Kitchen is fine. But Phoning It In is so fucking good. I like it better than Without a Recipe. Hands down, I think it's their best cooking show. And maybe one of their best pieces of content. I just find it so entertaining. I think it helps because Johnny Cakes is in most episodes. And man, I really like Johnny Cakes. Like, I think he's so entertaining. He's such a likable personality. He's so good. As someone who has actually watched every season of Is It Cake on Netflix, because I need to watch something while cooking dinner. I can't just sit there in the silence. I need something. I think he's wildly entertaining. It's great. But yeah, no, this first episode, oh my, I enjoyed it. I think it was very entertaining. The other chef, Mitzi, was great. Played off everyone great. You know, the ending bits, you know, they're all good. They're all good. When they actually reveal one of the creations, I was like, oh my god, that looks so much better than I thought it was. Like, I knew it was like coming together pretty decent, but actually seeing the final result, yeah, no, that's solid. That's well done. So that's another thing. I literally watched that earlier today. Also very good, very well done. Yeah, no, there's some good content out there. There really is. Alright, let's talk about the new Avengers. So, last week we talked about the Thunderbolts. And my big thing was no spoilers. I didn't want to give any spoilers. The biggest spoiler for last week's video was the thumbnail for the episode on YouTube. Which, by the way, I fucking love that thumbnail. The thumbnail I made, which is me as the Void, with just the 2 dots eyes, the city in the background. I fucking love that thumbnail. And now I've got to try to top it this week by recreating a scene from GTA and Animal Crossing. But that's tomorrow's me's problem, because I'm not doing that tonight. I'm way too tired to do that tonight. This lobby's really emptied out. We're only going to do like one more thing. So after that, so I did Friday's show and I was like, no spoilers. The movie came out today. My general policy, you know, if you give us, you got to give like 3 spoiler warnings. And if not, I usually try to give at least the first weekend. If not a week, right? That's usually the general policy. There's always a few things, but you know, in general conversation, give people like a week at least. Marvel themselves gave people until Sunday morning. They had already started putting up posters that, hey, guess what? The reveal at the end of the movie is that the Thunderbolts is actually the new Avengers. That's the reveal. I knew what that was going to be. The moment they changed the title to an asterisk and said, hey guys, the asterisk is important, I was like, oh, it's because they're the new Avengers. I pegged that, what, years ago now? I knew exactly what that was. And sure enough, they're the new Avengers. Now, I do really like how they do it in the movie. They've just stopped the Void. They've all hugged him, you know, because they say, I've seen some people complain that, oh, in the movie, they save the world with the power of friendship. That's so dumb. Fucking Steven Universe ass ending. Can I be honest? I'm fine with it. I have no issue with them saving the world with the power of friendship. What, did you expect them to punch the Sentry to defeat him? Like, someone pointed out that if Captain America had been on this team, they would have all died. Because Captain America doesn't step down, right? He don't hear no bell. He keeps standing up. What's the actual fucking line? I can do this all day. Yeah, that's the line. Like, if Captain America had been part of the Thunderbolts, he would have gotten them all killed. But luckily, we have bootleg, you know, JV Captain America, who has the wherewithal to retreat. and pulls Bucky over his shoulder to get him to run away. So, you know, they didn't all die, at least. But yeah, the reveal at the end where they're all chasing her down, she goes behind the curtain, and it's like, hey, revealing the new Avengers. I really like that moment. I like that Elena goes up to her and is like, we own you now. That it's not like, oh, guess what? Surprise, Val actually won. You know, the villain wins. No, right, they own her now. They won, kind of. I think that's a good twist. I like that. It gives them just a little bit of power, which I think is good. Other things, I'm so glad while they did spoil the Void, I'm so glad they didn't spoil the actual Sentry costume. Because you see the Sentry costume right out of the comics. Of course, they do the MCU-ification of it, but it's more or less pulled out of the comics. They even dyed his hair blonde. Louis Pullman's hair, you know, they made him a blonde. That was such a good reveal. I like that scene so much. You know, he beats up all the Avengers. He beats up the Thunderbolts. And then after he beats them up, he tells Val, like, oh, why should I listen to you? You just said I'm stronger than all the Avengers, and the Avengers had a god on their team. That makes me a god. What a great fucking moment. And, like, she realizes that he's turned on her, and she's just like, God damn it, Bob. Really? We're really gonna do this? That was so good. I love the visual design of the Void. Just the black with the white eyes and the teeth. You know, later on, when he's getting beat up, you see his teeth. That's so good. It's so striking. And I know, like, I think I mentioned this last week. I know some people were, like, big mad that his, basically the director, someone on the team took influence from Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That, hey, when those nuclear bombs went off, some people were basically just shadows. Left on the sidewalk, left on walls. If you want to see what it looks like, but not actually see, like, a real image, look up the graphic novel for There Will Be Soft Rains, because that has, like, a visual, like, a comic book version of it. And, again, I don't think this isn't something he does in the comics, but it looks so good in the movie. There's a scene where Red Guardian saves a little girl, and he tells her, like, everything's gonna be okay. And then she immediately gets turned into, like, a shadow. And both times I saw the movie, everybody gasped. That was, like, such a big surprise moment. That was great. I like all the stuff in the Void. When they're, like, seeing all their bad memories, you know, Elena seeing her first mission, a time when she was in the Red Room, presumably after her sister died, right, when she's just drinking herself to death. Those are all good moments. I wish we had gotten moments with the other members. And I like the idea of them using non-traditional ones. Like, Elena doesn't just see, you know, her sister's death. She sees her first mission. I would have liked to have seen, like, supposedly, I read somewheres that I guess for Bucky, they weren't going to do anything with Captain America, but instead show him in the Boy Scouts. And I actually really like that idea. I like the idea of his scene being him in, like, basically a young Steve Rogers in the Boy Scouts. I think that would have been really good, or, you know, you didn't even have to have Steve Rogers there. That's a good idea for a scene. I like John Walker, see him in Lamar in combat, like on the battlefield, because give us a little, like, PTSD hint. That would have been a good scene. And I get part of the reason they didn't probably show any of those other guys is because we more or less know their back. Like, we know Walker's biggest moment is when Lamar died and he murdered that guy. Ghost's biggest moment is the death of her parents and getting her powers. We know, Bucky's got, like, a ton of them, right? Like, there's a lot of things they could have picked from. And yes, Red Guardian, it would, you know, maybe his time in prison, maybe something else. maybe while he was still acting as like Red Guardian, we see like his low moment as Russia's hero, like him being like chewed out by a superior or something. I don't know. There could have been scenes with the rest of the Thunderbolts. I would have probably liked that, but I don't think what we got is bad by any means. I just, if it had been like, I would have gladly taken another like 10 minutes on the movie to get some of those scenes. That wouldn't have been too much of a cost to, or, you know, it wouldn't have taken too much away to get some of those moments. That would have been nice. And I've seen, I wanted to make this meme so bad. Someone was like, oh, where the fuck is Spider-Man during all of this? Because that's been up everyone's shit the past few weeks. Between Daredevil and Thunderbolts, what the fuck is Spider-Man doing during all this? Like, oh, you know, the city's rounding up all their vigilantes. In Daredevil, you know, Kingpin's doing that. What the fuck is Spider-Man doing? Oh, the city gets consumed by shadows. What the fuck is Spider-Man going to, you know, doing to help? And for most of it, it's like, oh, well, Sony is the IRL reason. But the in-universe reason is that, oh no, Spider-Man's there, somewhere's in the city. He just gets pulled into the void, and then he relives watching his aunt die over and over again until the rest of the Thunderbolts fix things. And, like, yeah, that's the joke. And that would be really funny to actually see the next Spider-Man movie open up with that. Like, imagine the next Spider-Man movie opening with Spider-Man being pulled into the void and reliving his aunt's death, only to then be arrested by Kingpin's vigilante task force. Like, fucking imagine. One thing I have to say, what the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? Because, okay, Valentina makes a reference early in the movie to the Red Hulk. That Harrison Ford turned into the Red Hulk, and he's not the president anymore. So we know this takes place after Captain America. But what fucking year are we in? I saw somebody say... Because the movie ends... The end credit scene of the movie takes place 14 months later. So whatever this movie takes place in, 14 months later... is the end credit scene, which is Doomsday. Because the end credit scene is the opening of Doomsday. We'll talk about it in a minute. But, like, what the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? I'm so confused. Because the other thing is, so I'm pretty sure, doesn't Captain America take place the year after an election year? Because Harrison Ford gets elected president, and then it's like the following year that all the Red Hulk stuff happens. So what year was Harrison Ford elected president? Was he elected president in 2024, and then Brave New World takes place in 2025? Because if the timeline is that, oh, Brave New World was... If this movie is 2027, which is what I've heard this movie pre-end credit scene is 27, post-end credit scene is 28. That's what I've heard. Man, we were doing so good until the last minute. Post-end credit scene, it's 2028. When the fuck was Harrison Ford elected president? Because of the blip, is the presidential cycle now 2 years off? Was he elected president in 2026? And then, you know, both Brave New World in this movie take place in the same year? When the fuck was Kingpin elected mayor of New York? Did that happen in an off year? Was that a main year? What the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? Like, I know the MCU timeline has never been perfect. They've retconned stuff in the past, you know, the Hulk retcon and all that. I'm not going to act like the timeline was ever perfect. But what the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? I have no idea. Unless, of course, you know, unless we're in, like, 29, and Harrison Ford was elected president in 28, and then 14 months later, we're in 30? Is that where we are? Because I know for a while, the MCU was 5 years ahead of us. And then Spider-Man came out, and Spider-Man Far From Home was set in 2024. And then it was, is Hawkeye set in 2024? And then, no, I guess it came out that Hawkeye was set in 25? Allegedly? What the fuck is the timeline for the MCU? When did Secret Invasion take place? Because Secret Invasion, a terrible show, had the previous president before Harrison Ford, who, you know, he fucks up so badly in Secret Invasion that he loses the race to Harrison Ford. That's a non-important plot point, really? Because fuck Secret Invasion. The show's awful. It really should have been an Avengers movie. Not that that would save everything, but man, they fucked that show up so bad. But I don't get the timeline of the MCU. What year? Because if Harrison Ford is elected president in 2024, and then, you know, 2025 is the Red Hulk thing, everything like that, I guess that would maybe make a little sense. But then so does that put Daredevil after Thunderbolts or before? Because I've heard that it's before this. Which, I mean, I guess that would make sense. But that doesn't solve any of these issues. Because again, what's an election year? Doesn't New Year's happen in Daredevil? Do they say what New Year's it is? What the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? Or was Harrison Ford president for like 2 years before everything got fucked? Is that it? Harrison Ford got elected in 2024. He was president for 3 years. And then only after that did the leader finally decide to make his move? What the fuck is the timeline of the MCU? It's a mess. It is a mess, as far as I'm concerned. It's like real comic books. And I know, oh, well, you can just use, you know, in the real comics, they just use a shifting time scale. Which, I mean, I guess that solves some problems, but I don't think that's perfect. Especially not in the MCU when time actually matters. Oh, fuck, we'll get that shit. And of course, oh shit, it doesn't hit that guy. Yeah, I did enjoy the Thunderbolts. I think there's a lot of good in it. I still stand by my statement that it's the most structurally sound MCU movie in a while. Even if I do really like the Marvels, like I really did enjoy the Marvels. And also, can I be honest, I kind of forget Guardians exists. Not that it was bad. No, it's probably the best movie we've had in the MCU since Endgame. But I just I put it in its like own box. It's its own thing. I don't really think of Guardians 3 along with anything else. But no, I do enjoy Thunderbolts. It's just, yeah, you know, there's always other stuff I'd like to see in it. No, nobody's perfect or whatever that bullshit saying is. Anything else I had to say on the movie? I don't know, it was good enough I saw it a second time. Like I said, I already knew I was going to, but yeah, no, that was good. Still haven't seen Sinners. Like, I know I'm awful. And then I found out that Lilo and Stitch, you know, Lilo and Stitch that's coming out in a few weeks. I saw that there's a photo of the director being like, I tried. And it shows Pleakley in drag, which is something people want, because obviously, like, you gotta stick true to the character, and that they tried to do that. And while sure, are there other solutions that would have allowed them to do it? Definitely. Do I wish they had gone with one of those? Of course I do. But when I saw those images floating around, I saw the director is Daniel Fleischer Camp? I think that's his name. I might be getting it's not David. I think it's Dan Fleischer Camp. That's the director of Marcel the Shell with Shoes On. If you have never seen Marcel the Shell with Shoes On, it originally started off as some YouTube shorts made by him. And then eventually it became a full-on movie. Him and his ex-wife, Jenny Slate. I think it's his ex-wife. I don't think they're married anymore. And it's a movie that came out a few years ago. and it makes me cry so fucking hard. That movie is so good and so heartbreaking at the end. Because it's real, man. They made a shell with shoes and they gave it a soul. And you, oh my god. I fucking love Marcel the Shell with Shoes on. So finding out that his next movie... I tried to hit it. I really did. Finding out his next movie is Lilo and Stitch, that actually makes me kind of want to see it. Do I still have all my concerns about Disney? Of course I do. But I do like the director. So now I am... It's kind of like Wonka. That's how I felt about Wonka and Paddington. Because I like the Paddington movies. And finding out the guy who did Wonka was the guy who did Paddington. That made me want to see Wonka. Did I like Wonka? Yes. Did I like it as much as Paddington? No. Will I like Lilo and Stitch? Hopefully. Will I like it as much as Marcel the Shell with Shoes on? No. But yeah, and we got that. I'm gonna rewatch the Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning, because Final Reckoning comes out in like 3 weeks, and that movie's gonna be so fucking good. Dead Reckoning is already my favorite Mission Impossible movie, and I have so much hope for Final Reckoning. Oh my gosh. But I guess that takes us to the outro. Yeah, that's where I'm gonna call it right there. I'm gonna go to bed. Again, I didn't think I was streaming tonight. This is all very last minute. I was just gonna do it tomorrow, but I was like, fuck it, let's just do it. And so, fuck it, here we are. We got the Lily full illustration. I'll take that. We won a race. What's coming up in the future? I don't know. I know I said I was doing Mario Sunshine this week. I didn't have the time to I was tired today and I didn't want to do it earlier, so I was like, fuck it. Maybe we'll try next week. I don't know. I know on June 6th, this becomes a Mario Kart World podcast. That's like the only game we're going to do for the end of the year. But we're not there yet. But I'm kind of like, oh, let's just do some Mario Kart now. You know, I'm kind of in the mood. But I kind of don't want to, like, overextend things. Like, I don't want to do too much Mario Kart. Because I know we're going to be doing a lot of Mario Kart in the future. At least that's the hope, assuming the game is good. I don't know. Dune got reviews today, and those are pretty good. And I do love me some Doom games. But I'm probably going to wait until Switch 2. Because I see no reason why Doom wouldn't come to Switch 2. Doom Dark Ages. Because I played Doom in Doom Eternal on Switch. Some of the best Switch ports. Like, genuinely. Both great Switch ports. Yes, did they make compromises? Yeah, but they're more than... I'm fine with those compromises. And I'm sure I'll be fine with the compromises in the next one. Man. There was another game. Man, I keep hearing more about that Expedition 33. Like, I knew it was okay, I didn't know anything about it. Like, I I'd seen the trailers, but it was like, whatever. And, people are like, oh, it's turn-based. And I'm like, okay, I'm not gonna play that. Or at least I don't plan to. And then I find out it's Paper Mario turn-based. It's a Paper Mario game. And now I'm like, oh, shit. Because I may not be the biggest turn-based... I'm not the biggest RPG guy. Let's put it like that. I'm not the biggest RPG guy, but I do like me some Paper Mario and Mario and Luigi. I do like those, so... I do not plan on picking it up anytime soon. Second it goes on sale, I'll get it. That's more than enough to interest me. But, okay, I'm rambling at this point. I need to go to bed. I hope you all enjoyed. Stay tuned for more. Till next time. Peace.